Hi everyone, it's the Psychic Sleuth, and I'm going to do a validation video for you today. I tried to plug in some microphone and it's not working. I don't know if it was because I had something plugged into my phone last time, my computer, but for some reason I didn't have sound, and I checked it this time and I should. So the validations we've been gathering this whole time, because different cases are interconnecting as we talk about, happens with me. I don't know why it happens that way. It just does. It's the way that I work. I guess because I'm an open channel. So, got a referral to religious beehive and the smell of salt, but not the beach. All descriptions of Salt Lake City, Utah. However, there was a feeling of a beach area, and I do know that she is from California or did visit that way. So that may be also why, and things can have multiple meanings. And she was also from the beach town Mayberry. They put something out about her, so I think that she was known in that area. So there's another reason for Barry validation. However, the beach can also fit Noah. And remember, things like I said, names and things like that will interconnect. So the dark hair, dark eyes, and glasses fit the description of AJ. The man who is listed as the person of interest in June 27th. Also explaining the letters A and J, and he does go by AJ. Also was a reference to jihad or turban. That further fits the description of AJ being from Africa, and the pictures of him Nigerian attire also fitting of foreign descent. Also, there's an Islamic church nearby and is I guess an Islamic area. On June 25th, we were at Rose Park looking around. Lot was fitting as far as from prior cases, the water tanks, the soccer field, etc. We now know the reading done back in November fits her. That was posted in the group. I can't really show you on YouTube because I haven't figured all that out, but you're welcome to come and see it. It mentions in the reading a rose that was drawn out, as well as mentions of bonfire in the backyard, party, and drugs. Gasoline wood pile on top, and a river close by. Jordan River is close. Jordan was mentioned in this reading I just did, as well as it's been mentioned in an auto-write prior. This reading was done on Samantha, but the info does not fit the case. However, it does not fit Samantha's case. However, it completely fits here, and I think the telltale was the rose drawn out. However, the similarities in the case are striking. Both black men with initial A, drugs were involved, and she was a blonde girl. Maybe why this came in together like this, as the cases seem to come in that way. If they're connected in some way, they interconnect. So maybe why it came together. I also noticed that 23 came in Cheryl's reading, and it happens to be her age, so could connect. June 26th had his house in Rose Park. The word rose also came in Cheryl's case, as well as many others. It's been coming in for quite a while. Fits the area in Salt Lake Valley of his blue-gray home. Blue kept coming in strong. Pink also came in as I drew the picture of the bed I was seeing, which you can see the pictures because I totally forgot. Or I could show him now, I guess, but could be another case. However, he did want a bed just like this, from what I'm told. Also, he did want a soundproof room. Turns out the next door address is address 548. 4 and 8 came through together, and it's a pink house. There is a yellowish-orange house on the other side. This validates the colors she was given, with the colors yellow, orange, pink, and blue. Also describing neighbors' houses on both sides of AJ's residence, with the pink home full of trees in the front, on the side and in the backyard, giving a feeling of woodsy. He used to live in Greenville at one time as well. Seen him. He's a man with few properties. In fact, came out on 26 that has 2 properties and rents the basement out as Airbnb. I kept getting basement, and they're like really strongly every time I would see her in the basement. So that's interesting. There's a lady that I guess has been stated that has been on the news and stuff that did clean his house, that stated the basement was creepy to me. She said she didn't like the feel of it. I felt relation to crematory or incineration, and that he had access to. One later verified that the bonfires in the backyard disturbing neighbors for a few days, also the foul smell the week prior, burning something in the backyard. This is why she stated incineration and cremation. Also, going back to Samantha's reading that is posted in the group. Later, this was seized by police as well, was a pitchfork, which came in the reading, and 27 boxes of ammo. The reference to 27 again, which it's a lot in here. And also, like I said, the pitchfork. Got the number 15. The house is off of I-15 from where she was dropped off at Hatch Park. Also, fitting how close to the Great Salt Lake the house is. Cinder may also be a reference to the fire and what she became. Also, I was wondering, I know it sounds weird, but when I got Cinder, it kind of reminded me of the dragon that shoots fire that I used to play with in a Skylanders game with my son, so maybe that's the reference as to why I related it to it. I wonder if there may be cinder blocks or well, because I was kind of seeing those as well. Her purse is blue. Also, they wear blue scrubs at her work, where she works with an Indian doctor who is an experimental doctor at Mill Creek. All from the reading. He knew her through he knew her through someone that oh AJ sorry knew her through someone that attended school together. So there is prior knowledge, and there would be the university, the books. There is a reference to books as well as he wrote a book. Like I said, also attended same university, or knew somebody that they did attend the same university, but he did know someone through the university that knew her. They so they do think she's deceased, obviously, which was shown in the reading when I stated that she, how she was showing me herself. Dark in reference to his color sedan, which he drives a dark Kia sedan. The color tone, I'm black. I got I seen two different cars. So one was just a dark color, and the other one was a black, like Jaguar type sedan looking car, two door. So I'm wondering if that's gonna come in later. But the dark sedan does fit here because it's like a dark gray. Um, it could be symbolic, I guess. As far as like a predator, maybe, jaguars are predators. It could mean that as well. Um, so back to one meaning of for books, or book coming in reference to August, which is weird on Amazon, that his book went out on August 31st. So there's a reference to August with references to religious name as well as burning bodies in fire. So there's your religious and burning bodies. For Halloween, now this did come in, the pumpkins, the bats. It's sort of creepy. This would profile with the initials JG, which G did come in, Jared Garlock, and I don't think it's a real person. That's the only way I'm saying his reason I'm saying his name, who had a Halloween profile picture and a pumpkin, as well as pictures on his profile that suggested her, as well as pictures on his profile, sorry, that were of like the movie Halloween. So, also he suggested to someone that her phone was smashed. That's the only time it's ever come out. No one ever knew that. I did mention that in the reading, but he mentioned this to someone out that is remaining anonymous. She showed me screenshots. So that was never released, but it does validate the reading. Also, he was saying that she was alive and making all kinds of weird comments on the page. I bet you this was AJ in a fake profile. I guarantee it. Lots of people turned in his stuff for trolling. The profile has not been active since he was arrested. He was trolling the groups, talking about how she was alive and about whores. So I honestly do think it was AJ. It would also validate those parts of the reading. And again, 15, 15 can be the age of the boy in his book Forge Identity. However, I'm starting to wonder if there wasn't some kind of talking with him on the 15th, because she went missing the 17th. So that would kind of make sense. Also reference to fire, also fitting, reference predominant could be how he sees himself, or this could be somebody that could describe someone else. It's just interesting. She did mention the person that she worked with a lot, and I don't really know why. I was trying to figure that out, and no, I'm not trying to start any problems or say anything bad about him. I'm more or less trying to figure out why she was talking about it. But anyways, everyone that knew him thought this was a surprise, or that it could be, or like I said, it could be reference to a doctor she worked for or a different case. Okay, there's some eerie things in that book that talk about a doctor, though. So I guess that he does mention a doctor in the book. So there's another doctor reference. Remember, interconnecting multiple meanings happens. I heard Dell, D-E-L-L, or Dale, D-A-L-E, during a private reading. Didn't match there, which I didn't think it would. It was very random. It was towards the end of the reading. Later confirmed her computer tech is, or he's a computer tech at Dell Computer. I can't talk today. I apologize. Also, night before, like I said, I was hearing Dell, and then I'm thinking that Dale might interconnect Noah because there's a place near where he went missing with Dale in the name. I also heard Riverdale, which exists, so I didn't know at the time until I got on the map. So the area may be significant in one way or another. I need to start writing down the pools in my words because they all seem to fit eventually. Handsome was or pretended to be a model. I was contacted by someone that said if you put the keywords in my reading and bunch of news articles pop up that mention Mackenzie and are around Mackenzie's time. They pull up under Mackenzie's name. For instance, the girl that was found safe to close to Green Hills and Berry Road in Kansas. There's also a mention of human trafficking with Mackenzie. There was a human trafficker that targeted victims, and there was a LA County Sheriff's Barry Hill. There was mention of Travis Finley. Travis facing prison for strangling his grandmother, so maybe she was coming in. There's mention of emergency crews rescuing a man that fell off a cliff. And there is another guy they're questioning going by the initials JJ. So again, J. Things can have multiple meanings. And he is a white bigger dude, which is who I saw the two other guys that I had mentioned. AJ owns multiple properties. One has the number 12. And who is this Dubai person? I wonder if he exists. Could also validate the Indian type if he was pretending to be someone else. Funny enough, he was also wearing blue when he was arrested. That's why I mean, again, multiple meanings. Knew it was important. He was also wearing silver rimmed glasses when arrested. He does look older than he is. Was a catfish. He does not look anything like his picture. AJ's house is close to Barcliff Road. Or Briarcliff Road. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Briar Cliff. This could be the meaning for why I was seeing the cliff so clearly and why the B. Because sometimes things, like I said, are symbolic. Like with Malia, I kept seeing her in a lake. Well, she was found off a Red Lake Road. That's what I mean by symbolic. By seeing a cliff, it was saying that she was by where Cliff Road, which I don't really know that at the time. Sometimes we can't tell if they're symbolic, so I'm over here looking for a cliff. You know what I mean? That's the hard part about doing this work. So I was just sent this information and no prior knowledge. I've been kept away from all the Bundy stuff because I wanted to do a series on him. It came up a while ago. Also, he's come up in an auto rate. But we have found out some interesting information. So Bundy spent some time in Utah. This would also match a B. And why maybe the B came through multiple times. And maybe why. Okay, so he had a house that was through the mountains, all right, off of a windy road between the mountains and then in the woods. Sounds just like my reading. And a girl that he killed, or we think that he killed, she has never been found, but she went missing in the time he was active, had a ruby ring. And this was all referencing in the reading, and her name is Nancy Bard, Baird. Kind of sounds like the street where Mackenzie was found by, right? But Bundy was a serial killer and handsome and charming, right? So he also kept trinkets and he apparently severed body parts. I guess he was darker than we really even know, and he had more victims, which I plan on doing a series now. Bundy was arrested in Florida in January. There's a January reference. And Nancy Bard went missing near a Beehive restaurant in Logan. She was stated to be wearing a ruby ring, like I said. AJ used to live in Logan. So that could be a connection. Funny thing, weird and ironic connection about this time is I did these readings. I get a new car because my old one got stolen. Well, I didn't realize at the time till I was talking to my team member just recently about the fact that I now have a yellow bug. Well, Bundy used to drive a yellow bug. I'm telling you, this stuff happens to me. I don't know. I don't know. I was kind of blown away by that. So he's been coming through in a few readings, or his victims have, I should say, because Washington was mentioned, and I guess that's where his ashes were spread. I don't feel it's weird because I don't feel any darkness with it, so I'm just wondering. Also, I think Nancy Bard, Biard, came in because her and Mackenzie were both 23, have similar looks, and were around the same area, the area where he used to live. AJ used to live. So there is another Nancy Wilcox that was said to be Bundy's victims, and he said she was at Ruby Rock in Coral Canyon. There was a body found of Jasmine Mills a couple days after Mackenzie, around the same time as Mackenzie. They found her a couple days later. There's the mill again. So she was found in an industrial area. That could be the factory. There's Elizabeth Lizzie Davis. Davis came in Malia's reading, and I remember when it came in, I was thinking, well, why would it come in? We already know that's her name. I think this is why. She has dark hair and is missing around the area that Mackenzie was, Murray, and also South Jordan. Could be my pull to those areas as well. She's been missing 27 days. There's a reference to 27 again, according to what someone told me or what I was shown. So we're kind of wondering about that. So also this is kind of off, but in Oregon there was a father and son who found remains named Anne Marie Lehman. Anne has come up in Cheryl's and off of Redwood, same street but different city that you would take to get to Mackenzie on Josephine, Oregon. I had to draw to Josephine when I saw it connected to the lady found in Ohio off of Rose. Also, there was an instance that happened right before that with something named Josephine. I noticed that name had come up before. Anyways, they were also found in August, so this could be a validation for August as well as Josephine, Redwood, Interconnect, and Anne, as well as maybe father and son, which sometimes things do come in mixed up, or they have, like I said, they interconnect and have multiple meanings. I just heard father and son, so maybe I took it wrong way since we don't really have it depends on how we take the information for this could be a possible Bundy or another case. Got the word cliff also fits if you look at AJ's house is a flat map. It shows it's between two mountains close to the Great Salt Lake with overlook of a cliff. So I was also drawn to predomitory. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, which is typed out in the reading. I was so tired. I don't know if maybe I skipped it. It was at the very end. Anyway, you can go in and look and see it hasn't been edited. But this boy was found the same day that Mackenzie was, this teenager, on Predomitory Road, which is also a word for cliff. So I have screenshots I was drawn to the day before. Couldn't leave that name at all. So they found this boy who died under circumstances next to same day as Mackenzie, and they do hold fruit festivals every year, but I do think that the fruit may go for Fruit Heights that I found. But Box Elder I was drawn to looking at the map. Also, like I said, I couldn't leave Predomitory, and he was found off of Predomitory Road. So I need to start writing down the words I'm drawn to because there's a reason for it. So braids that came in the reading we think may be connected to the pregnant girl who went missing from her car. Cannot remember her name right now. A day or so after this, she had lots of reddish braids and she was wearing pink. Mackenzie's reading, I was like, huh? Like braids, what? So sadly, she was found deceased before I got a chance to work on it. Sorry, I'm a bit behind. Wish I could have helped with that. So, got the word green and leaf with the letter O later. A man in Orem works for a greenhouse, got injured on an explosion on the 27th. Also, new info came out in her regards. New info came out on her in regards to what was going on. They were searching, they were in his house, whatever, on the 27th. Reference to bait could be that he uses his charm reel in words, play them, most being blonde, leaving this, he has no type. He's just, he kind of plays the charm and success role. Nothing serious with them, just sees them as easy party girls, whores, and discards them fast. I'm talking about AJ here. I know there's a lot, and it's kind of confusing because different cases come in, and that's what happens, which is weird because I was trying to hyper focus, which when I do hyper focus, I usually don't get this much popping in, but for some reason, that whole area, I was just getting a bunch of people. So I don't know. I did get Utah on an auto write. I'm wondering. So he does have similarities to Bundy, not many, but a few. Bundy was smart and articulate and got away with it for a really long time. He would have never done anything like this to draw attention to himself. But I think the reason for Bundy is that there's similarities. There are like a few similarities, not a lot. I'm not comparing him to Bundy. I'm just saying that could be another reason for the interconnect. But Bundy was very active and highly active in Utah, and that might be why Bundy seemed to like the blonde and brunette type. So that came in as well. There are lots of validations for Bundy in the reading. I plan on doing a series on the ones that weren't recognized, the victims that weren't recognized, because he does have more. I feel like Nancy Beard, Bierd, we feel she was one, but a reading would tell me more. Like I said, Fruit Heights may pertain to her. Cherry Road is also around there. So, Auto Write 2 or 3, I think I posted there's things, a mention of Bundy in the mountains in the very beginning. I think that may fit here. Also reference to the letter P. A man was found in Lake Powell, but the boy was found also on Promontory Road. There was 2 other men questioned in Mackenzie. I think we brought that up. If I repeat stuff, sorry. When I get validations, I just type it in here, and sometimes it's a lot for me to go over, so I can't focus when I'm reading. So the reason that it seems a description came in twice because it was describing him, and then maybe this serial killer or team or whatever is saying. I could be Bundy now that I think about it. Thinking back, I'm just not really sure, but he was kind of handsome like Bundy. But then there was a mention of Indian doctor, so I don't know if maybe that was just to reference where she worked and someone that knew her, because we do get people connected. So I did get a vision of a black man the night before, and in Cheryl's case, that came up, and it didn't make freaking sense in that case at all, because obviously. So I just wonder, but he does have like a kind of a foreign accent, being from Africa. So that would come in. The Jordan River does flow close to his house. The color red. You take redwood to get there. Um, there wasn't also, here's an Indian man that was supposedly killed by AJ's friend Chris. He was I guess never charged, but he is Indian Hindu looking. Things do interconnect. Now we know in the other cases, Mill has fit all over since the reading, and it was mentioned way back in Cheryl's. I think there was also a car that had went off into Sarah's Bayou, and there was something about Mill mentioned in that. So this is all happening around the same time. It's kind of interesting. So one word will fit many cases. It's very strange. I don't know how it happens, but it does. Um, so Mill may also be Noah because he lived in Mill Creek Apartments. We now know that. I was very strongly drawn to Dandy Point Road in Noah every time when I looked at the map, because I didn't have time to do reading, so I wanted to see if there was any areas I was drawn to. I was very drawn to that road. I thought about it the next day too. I felt all kinds of pains all over my body, so I'm thinking it's very important that in Bell as well there was a pool. So it seems I'll start getting a name and it'll pop up all over just like Rose, which is funny enough. I named my cat Rose 2 years ago, like I had said. So they have blue scrubs that I guess they tried to sell with a mattress from what I've heard. Also, the father and son may be that father and son that found a body, or it could be something in the future or past. I didn't realize that Bundy liked to saw off the head, very dark, so could be reference to him in his reading. He's been popping up a lot, coming in other readings, things bugging me, things, I don't know if it's his victims or him. I mean, if it's him, he doesn't seem very dark or anything. So I've heard he's in the lower astrals, but I mean, it could just be I'm getting information on him as well. But he's been popping up a lot. So we are going to work on a series. Like I said, it's going to take some time though. But keep a lookout for that. So things can be, like I said, in the future past already happened, because in a random auto write, I picked up body parts washing up. So there may be either a new serial killer coming in. I said that he was going to be like a copycat. Or this may be a duo. It hasn't happened yet, so things can have more than one meaning too. So remember the way that I work. It was very vivid and very real, so it will make sense somewhere. And I don't know if you guys have seen Cardinal on Hulu, but he kind of reminded me of that with darker hair and a little white in the beard. Flowers, I noticed when briefly I looked at the map in Noah, there are flower names, but also there's a guy that was killed in a greenhouse from the area. Also, AJ's Vimo, or whatever it's called, is yellow flowers. So there's yellow, and then there's the flowers. So there's a lot, and I'm probably going to even find more. I wanted to get a video out for you guys to validate, because everybody said I was so wrong. People that say that don't understand how I really work. I mean, things interconnect, and things can have multiple meanings, and I can pick up cases all over. And apparently, at that time, Utah was had a lot going on. And because Bundy has so many victims there, I think I'm picking them up. It's funny, the whole yellow bug thing. Anyways, thank you guys for liking and subscribing and your support. I will see you next time.